All right, everyone, we are live for episode 18. It is a Tuesday in September 10th. Tuesday, September 10th. Greatly appreciate you all clicking on the show. Today's episode is going to be fantastic. There's going to be no listener questions or listener comments or anything. It's solely me today. We're going to talk about a lot about childhood memories, the things that I was into as a kid, and hopefully you can relate to the weird, embarrassing stories that all sort of turn us into the people that we are today. I'm going to give away some picks. I'm going to talk about what happened last week with the picks. Kind of got killed on the board. And then, I think I'm going to review a show that I just watched recently, The Righteous Gemstones, Dan McBride, Adam Devine, John Goodman. It's pretty hilarious. And it's a HBO show. But I'm really excited to talk about I don't know, adolescence development sort of weird, embarrassing, funny things that happen or like whatever you're into. And I'm excited to talk about that. So hopefully you all can relate to today's episode, and hopefully you enjoy listening to this much. Whoa, nope, that's not it. Let's start that back. Hopefully you enjoy listening to today's block of entertainment as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. I will see you in a second. All right, all right. Oh, well, I should. All right, all right, all right. I feel fantastic today. If I felt any better, you wouldn't even begin to believe me. I feel so good that we're going to talk about really embarrassing things, and I'm not even going to be that embarrassed by it. So let's start off, shall we? Uh, what weird things were you into as a kid? Okay, because where I grew up, it was in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia, and we didn't it's not like we were like rich or poor, but like I didn't have any neighbors growing up, so it's like I had to use toys and use things that were like make me sound more broke than I probably was. So like I just played with like army men in like the mud. That was like a big toy. Uh, Throwing the ball off the roof and letting it roll down and catching it was another fun thing I did as a kid. Watching a lot of talk show television was a thing I did. I think I it's like part of my life as a child was like really innocent and like just me by myself, and then others like I was like a 45-year-old man. Like I would watch all the late night talk shows and stay up and stuff like that, and that was the stuff I was into. I think I would watch the news every night. Big whoever's I don't know. I like the local news. I felt like I got more out of it. Felt like I could connect more with the stories out of the local news. But going on to things that like I was into. I think we all as kids had some sort of aspiration to do like an extreme sport. Like extreme sports were popping off at the time. So for me it was like say 2006 maybe. In 2006, the X Games were the thing. They're out there in LA. Shaun White's doing all these flippy tricks. Tony Hawk is spinning around in circles a billion times. Who else was on the X Games? Bob Burnquist, the guy from Brazil. I think that was the guy from Brazil. Ryan Sheckler. He had that show on MTV for a while, and all the ladies loved him. All the girls loved Ryan Sheckler. I think he had a brother, too. Um, Rob Dyrdek. I don't know if he was in the X Games, but that was a guy. That was a popular guy. I liked watching Robin Big. But all of these things, they're skateboard guys. I wanted for one summer in like I was in elementary school. It was like so I'm gonna say like '06, like I said. I like I thought I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna be a skateboarder. Let's do it. You got the summer off. I have all these months to train. I'm gonna be on the X Games. It's gonna be fantastic. There are zero skate parks in my area. Well, there wasn't at the time, and I was like, I have this little concrete path in my driveway. I'm just gonna skate up and down on that, learn how to rip it and roar it, and that'll be that. I think I did that for a solid week while the X Games were going on, and then the X Games ended, and I was like, you know what? I don't really want to do this anymore. And my parents, they bought me a helmet. Well, I already had a skateboard, but they bought me the helmet and they bought me the knee pads, and I was just like, oh man, I feel like a real skateboard guy. Like I'm probably going to school because you always lied about like what you did over the summer. I mean, you can Napoleon Dynamite even did it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I hunted caribou all summer." That was a lie. The lie detector determined that that was a lie. Me, I'm probably going to school. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was ripping 50-50 grinds and spinning 720s, yeah, in my backyard. Now, my parents built a half pipe for me. Yeah, they love me. They love me more than your parents do, Kyle. So tough break, kid. In reality, I couldn't even like push my feet or push my foot and get it back on the board without like falling off. I think the only trick I could do, like I could like pop the board in the air like a half an inch off the ground. You couldn't have slid a piece of paper underneath the skateboard, and I would have like landed. I could do the manual where you just stand on two wheels for like 2 seconds. I think I could still do that one for like 2 seconds. Someone get me a skateboard, I'll do it right now. I'll do the whole show in a manual. That's how much I believe in myself. I'm a gambler. I gamble on myself. Bet the house. So I wanted to be a skateboard guy for just a little bit. Just wanted to be a skateboard guy for a little bit. And then I realized how I am not built for that. Any like bare flesh falling onto concrete, like I believe in the skateboard guys. I like the fact that they always like get up and try again, no matter how many times they fall. There's something admirable about that. But for me, I'm a big wussy, and I could not do it. Moving on from that, let's flash forward to 2009. I was 13 at the time. Okay, and what do you do? What do you want to do? It's 2009 and you're 13 and you don't have internet at your house, so you can't get on Club Penguin and go crazy. You can't really get on AIM and send messages to your friends. What do you do? Well, you do what every sensible 13-year-old boy with no internet does, besides play baseball all day. You pick up an instrument. Oh yeah, that's what they do, right? 13-year-old boys pick up instruments. I was like, what is an instrument that I am going to enjoy playing, but will make me look awesome? I'm gonna have to say the guitar. Just you start me out on the acoustic guitar, the deep tracks, the finger playing, the soft, soothing vocals, just swooning. The ladies just go bananas over that stuff. They eat that stuff up. It was 2000. It was 2009. I mean, if you're a dude with an acoustic guitar in 2009 and you have some sort of angsty lyrics or some sort of love lyrics with ambiguous meaning, it's ball game, folks. It's over. You've won. You're getting a record deal probably. And my sister at the time, speaking of men who can just win over any lady in the world, my sister was the biggest John Mayer fan at the time. And I had and he's like, I don't know much about like guitar people. I do know he's incredible guitar player. Incredibly incredible. That makes sense. And she's like, "Hey, you should pick up the guitar. The ladies, I think everything. Okay, okay. Well, I'll get on this later." But my sister was like, "You should pick up the guitar. You're 13. John Mayer started playing when he was 13. You could do that." And I was like, "Well, I'm not that." So I think I wanted to play guitar so I could be in like my church youth group band for a week. So instead of like me and all my friends, instead of that, it was our God is an awesome God. That's what it was for me. A bunch of G chords, bunch of G, C, D, bunch of that. I don't even know if those chords make that sound, but it was a lot of pretty basic stuff on the acoustic. And then I upgraded and got the electric. I probably played for like 2 years. You can hand me a guitar right now, I couldn't show you anything. That was loud. But my sister, I think she's the reason that like I did everything. Looking back on it, she was older than me. She was like the boss. So she said, like I played a bunch of different sports. So one, she already got me in the guitar. Boom. I was like, all right, cool. I'll be John Mayer. Well, that didn't work out, and I'm not that. I actually just recently followed him on Instagram. The pictures he's posting from this tour are pretty inspiring. Just him interacting with the crowd, looking like he's having the time of his life. I like that. I like those when artists, any sort of artist, mostly comedians. Whenever they interact with the crowd, you can just see them like having that genuine joy upon their face. Might have to make a picture of my background, one of those. Anyway, my sister's like, you should play. I mean, I already was playing soccer at the time. She was like, you need to play in high school because all the girls love all the soccer players. When in reality, it was just her and her couple friends that probably like a soccer player on the team. And they were just like, all the girls love soccer players. They hate football players. And then I get to high school and it's like, that's not true. Everyone thought the soccer players were like weird. And I mean, I played both. Okay. So I was fine. But I think, looking back on it, I think my sister might have just shaped my childhood more than I knew. Maybe your older sibling uh, dictated the things that you did in your life. You know, she made me pick up the guitar. That didn't work out. She made me pick up soccer. That kind of worked out, even though I was really into playing at the time. So I guess it doesn't really matter. What other stuff was I into as a kid? What would I do as a kid that is unique? Oh, okay. Here's something I would do. Here's something I would do, and I'm not sure that anyone else did this. I would write down. Okay, so say there was a random comedian special on Comedy Central back whenever they used to show specials and not the same for television shows over and over again. That all end after 1 year. So say there was a different comedian special on there, or no name or a big name. If it was a joke I like or a bit that I thought worked, I would write that down on my yellow legal pad pages verbatim what they said. It did not matter who it was. I remember like watching like early Kevin Hart. Probably shouldn't say his name. He's in the media for people are canceling him. It didn't matter who it was. Trying to think of other comedians I watched at the time when I was really young. I mean, Dave Chappelle, obviously, but I would just write their Patrice O'Neill. I would just write like their stuff down. It was really bad of me to do verbatim. If I thought the joke worked, I would mull it over, look at it, say it into my mirror, basically redo the whole bit, and then show it to my parents, and then they just like wouldn't laugh at all. They could probably tell, one, I didn't write this, or two, we have a comedic genius on our hand, someone who is writing and saying something so complex at age 13. It's crazy to think that how much that age dictates what you want to do with your life. So at that age, what was I doing? I was staying up late and watching all the comedy shows. I was watching my dad do public speaking gigs all the time. So you combine those two things. Watching my sister perform. My sister was a great actress, great singer, great everything. Watching her stage presence. So you can combine all those things, and what does that do? Well, it makes you think, maybe I want to do that for a career. It makes you think, well, maybe I'm also cut out for it. If my family's cut out for it, then maybe I am. So it's like I'm interested in jokes. My dad speaks in public. My sister performs in public. Why can't I? And then it just, I don't know, kind of molds you and shapes you into the person you are today. That's such a weird age looking back on it. I didn't even think about it until I got to start rambling on the topic about how 13, 14, 15, those decisions dictate, like they don't solely dictate, but they play a big role as what you're into and what you want to be. So Steve Higgins, the producer SNL, and he whatever hosts, he's like the intro guy for Fallon. He always says the same thing, and I probably said this on the show a billion times. The cast of SNL that you're into whenever you're in late middle and early high school, so 13, 14, 15, you will think that is the best cast of all time. So maybe it's just a comedy thing if that age group dictates what you're into. I don't know. But either way, that'll do it for the things that we're into as children. I will be right back in a second, and I hope you're enjoying today's show. So let's talk about what happened last week, shall we? Last week, or at least a couple days ago, in terms of the picks I gave out and the picks that I didn't give out I didn't give out because I didn't have time to give them out, and I can't go give you all of my picks before the show comes out. I got somewhat killed. I had a losing week. It was the first losing week in a while. My roommate also got killed. My friends also got killed on the book. I mean, tip your cap. The NFL games murdered me. I knew the Dolphins were going to be bad, but I did not know they were going to be this bad. No, I didn't bet on them. I had the under in that game. The Ravens hit the over in the first half of the game. And those ones, it's good to get it out of the way early. Tip your cap, you lost, move on. The Browns, though. The Browns. Holy moly. They had 15 penalties. You are an NFL team. I had to turn the game off and they had 15 penalties. They probably had more. I mean, I can't. You are a pro football team, and you're out here getting these undisciplined penalties. A Browns player kicked a guy in the face. Hello? Just undisciplined. I don't know what it is. Maybe the Browns are just always destined to be bad. And then you have Baker Mayfield, who I actually think is an interesting guy, and I like him. He's like, we love the underdog role. We're embracing the underdog role. Bro, you guys are trash. Straight up. How are you going to lose to the Titans, the bumbling Titans, at home, week 1, no less? Whenever you're proclaiming that this is your year, and it's just all this hype. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. All this hype, all this expectation. And then you just get beat down. And it is sad. And it cost me money. The college games did not work out great because Hawaii missed a billion field goals. Hawaii missed a billion field goals. They didn't give up any points in the second half. Hawaii football, I don't think Cole McDonald turned it over a ton. I fell asleep in the third quarter. It was a late start. The game didn't even kick off till midnight. Woof. JoJo Ward is my favorite player in history. Cedric Byrd needs a new pair of gloves because he was dropping things. But the kicking game struggled. They missed like 4 kicks. They made a game winner, but it doesn't matter. It didn't cover. Come on, fellas. What else did I get killed on? It's so funny watching Tennessee, that fraud program, lose again. That's the most delusional fan base in the history of history. I'm not even going to apologize if you're a University of Tennessee volunteer fan. I think you guys should understand how fraudulent you are. And I'm not going to act like my school is better because it's not. Okay, my school is not good right now. West Virginia University Mountaineers are, how you say, not good right now. We knew it was going to be bad. I knew it was going to be bad. You could tell if you read in between the lines of Coach Brown's press conferences in the summer and the interviews he gave out, it was going to be rough. We did not know how rough, and only putting up 20 points against an FCS team week 1 at home, not good. They could not move the ball. The run blocking is not there. We cannot throw the ball very well. Well, he just doesn't have time. I think the O-line might be the biggest issue. It might be a long year, folks. I'm going to try to get down to another game. I had a lot of fun in the last game I was at. I'm going to try to get down to one more. But you want picks for next week? Oh, you want picks for next week? Oh, I had Army plus 22.5 against Michigan. I guess that's the coolest pick I give you. Let me go on my thing right now and figure it out. Reminder, if you want to place any sort of wager this season, get a hold of me and I can hook you up. Then in doing so, you will get a $25 free play, and if you refer anyone else, you will get a $50 free play, and they will get a $25 free play. It is fantastic. Now let's look at the lines, shall we? College football this week, week 3. North Carolina and Wake Forest, that's a 3-point line. I am getting upset at the fact that North Carolina keeps winning games. Should not be happening, but it is. Let me look at some other ones. West Virginia is 6.5-point underdogs to NC State. West Virginia is going to get run out of the gym. Maryland is 7-point favorites against Temple. I like that. I like Maryland because apparently they can score like at will. Let's see what else. Let me see if anything is looking good for me at the moment. Army minus 17 against UTSA. Okay, Oklahoma State minus 14 at Tulsa. Tulsa has won a couple games, though. Yeah, it's tough. I feel like Vegas is getting smarter. Vegas is getting smarter, and no one told me. No one told me about it. It's like now that everyone has all this information to all these networks and things with the stat lines and where all the money is, Vegas is like, we gotta wise up. We can't just trick Joe Public into taking the favorite. Now we gotta make it difficult. Well, gee, thanks, Vegas. I understand you weren't built on winners, but could you at least loosen up the reins a little bit? I'm dying here. I'm trying to pay my student loans with this stuff. Jeez whiz. I don't know if that's the best plan of action for me. Yes, I have a regular job. Yes, I do jokes. And then I should probably just pick up like a regular side hustle, like some sort of a modern delivery service where you just like go to someone's door and they don't even look at you and you just slide it under. That's a wait, no, never mind. That sounds like a stolen bit. That sounds too close to a bit I heard. Um, Modern day delivery service where I just put something in a basket and then use rope and as a pulley system and then send it up to the person's window. There you go. That's the modern day delivery service. Put something in a basket, use a pulley system up to the window, then they drop money down, and you're good to go. No, it's all paid beforehand. I don't know how the modern delivery systems work. Is that weird of me to have never have used one? Maybe. Maybe it just means I'm old school. I like going and doing things. I like going and picking things up. Granted, I don't live in New York City. I don't live far from it, but I don't live in it. So I guess that's probably more practical there. Because where I live, you can just go get it. You're saving yourself money. Oh, I got to tip the driver. Oh, there's an extra fee for delivery. I can just go get it myself. I like getting out and doing things. I like being a community figure, a community leader, if you will. No one knows that I exist in this community. But either way, I am. I don't know if I'm looking forward to this week of college football. I don't think I can go through this again. I got to do more research. I can't give out any picks. Let's go Oklahoma State minus 14. Let's do that. I like that one. Let's go Maryland minus 7. Let's do that. I like that one. And I'll give you one more. Man, this is tough. I gotta wait for over and unders to come out. I don't have over and unders in my book right now. So sorry. Those are the 2 picks I'm giving you right now. Maryland and Oklahoma State. Enjoy. Those are 2 winners. Lock it down. Book it. Oh, speaking of football, this is the last little thing. We have 2 minutes left on this segment. Why? No, not why. I understand why. The Miami Dolphins. Wow. After that drumming they got by the Ravens, we have players. It's a mutiny. We have players who are saying they want traded, and it's a whole thing. The new Miami is still the old Miami. It is sad to watch. I understand. I understood. I still get that it's going to be bad for a while. People believe in this Belichick branch, coaching tree, branch off arm, Brian Flores. He was there for 16 years with the Patriots. He knows the Patriot way, all that junk. They think that he's actually going to be the one to break the mold of the Belichick disciples. We shall see. Because maybe that's what he's just doing. Maybe he's just cleaning house completely, because Dolphins have done this cleaning house rebuild. They probably had 4 rebuilds in the past 10 years. I think so. So it's, I have patience. I don't expect much from the team. I just hope that they win one before I die. Gee whiz. That'll do it for sports talk. I will be right back. We're going to talk about a little bit of entertainment stuff with a new show that I have been watching on HBO called The Righteous Gemstones. There's, I think, 4 episodes. I've only watched the first one, so I can't give you a super in-depth analysis. All right, and we're back, and it's time to talk entertainment. Here's a video that I just watched recently before I talk about The Righteous Gemstones that was sent to me today on my Twitter and Instagram at Franco's World. Somebody sent it to me on my Twitter at Franco's World _, but you can follow me on both at Franco's World _. Can't believe I didn't plug my own things earlier in the show. That's banana land of me. That's asinine. I saw a video. It looked like it was in somewhere in Latin America. I think they were speaking Spanish. It was of uh, a futsal court, soccer court, outdoor, indoor, hybrid game, whatever. The ball was being passed around from teammate to teammate, up and down the field, no defenders. And then finally, the ball gets passed off a man's casket and into the goal. And then they all hover over him and start wailing, crying. I had to turn the sound down. I hate listening to people cry. I cannot do it. I cannot listen to people cry because I'll lose it. Makes me really sad, makes me really depressed, and I have been struggling to find inspiration to write quality things. And the last thing I need right now is something that'll bum me out. They they blasted the ball off the man's casket and into the net. I would have been in the stands. Oh, oh. I would have been pumped. Way to go. Go, go, go. Ale, ale, ale. It was just a weird video to see them blasted off a man's casket. Let the man rest. By the way, that's a handball. That's a no goal. We just went to the VAR system. The goal is disallowed. Tough break. So the Righteous Gemstones, Danny McBride. Oh, Walton Goggins is going to be in episode 2. I'm excited about that. But Danny McBride, John Goodman, Adam Devine. It is hilarious. It's a satirical take on these megachurch pastors who are all out for money and no real sort of giving back to the universe. It's all the pastors that pass around the plate 10 times in the service. God wants you to give. God wants you to give to my church. God wants you to give so I can have a private jet so I can't fly with you heathen people on this regular earth. So I love when people make fun of those guys. And it's funny to see because Dan McBride has to be like the king of HBO shows. Eastbound and Down. Hilarious. Vice Principals is one of my favorite shows of all time. Mostly because of Walton Goggins' character, but Danny McBride kills it in that too. And then this show. The guy can do no wrong when it comes to HBO shows. Because, it's like TV, but it's like a movie form of television. Like True Detective Season 1 on HBO, the best season of television in the history of history. I stand by that statement. But the first episode, so that you get the introduction to all the characters, obviously, you understand why they act the way that they do, and the whole dynamic of the Gemstone family. Then there is a blackmail situation where Danny McBride's character, there's a video of him doing cocaine and him being a pastor. That is no bueno. So it's you got to give up $1 million or we're going to leak the vid. And I'm not going to ruin the rest of it. But that is the premise of the first episode. So watch it. Let me know how it goes and we'll talk about it. I've talked about a lot of HBO shows on here. I could have been the only low-level podcast in the world that went on a week-to-week basis of Chernobyl. And every week it was just the same thing. Oh, I had to turn it off because I was about to throw up because the guy's skin was melting off like the pizza that you got in elementary school. I had to do that. People need to quit texting me while I'm doing the show. Jeez. I lost my train of thought. Well, let's transition from that for these last 5 minutes, and let's talk about me. My favorite topic, me, myself, and I. I have been struggling with writing quality content and quality jokes that I genuinely believe in. And the other day, while I was running, and by the other day I mean yesterday, when I was running, that's right, I do physical activities, I had an epiphany. Far too often, I find myself writing for the people in the crowd, writing for the people listening to the show. When in reality, what I need to do is write for myself and believe in it. And if I believe in it, then it will be good. I think I have a good judgment, a good gauge as to what's funny and what's not, or what works and what doesn't. Because if I believe in it, and if I think it's quality, and it matches this rainbow ride it matches the litmus test, it matches the put it through the ringer, okay, I finally believe in it, all the words look perfectly and rounded into this beautiful form, this beautiful shape that I can then share to others, this beautiful piece of molded art. The joke to me is like pottery. And no, this isn't like the movie Ghost reference where I'm just sitting there at the wheel going crazy. It has to be sculpted. Every word has to be perfectly shaped in order for me to believe in it. So if I do that, and if I believe in it, I believe, it's been saying believe a lot, I get that tattooed on me. Like Breck Shea, the soccer player, he has that tattooed on his leg. You should look it up. Look like it hurt all down the shin bone. Anyway, if I believe in it, I think I will perform it with more vigor and more enthusiasm. And in turn, it will be more believable. And I think the listener, you, the audience, will like it more. So I've been struggling to find inspiration for that. Been going through my old routines, my old rituals as to what I do when I write nightly. And it just doesn't feel the same. And I'm really worried about it. And I hope I work it through because I'm about to make another move in my life in a couple months. So that's going to be a whole thing. Because I'm doing the things that I was doing before I moved here because I liked the results I was getting. And not that I'm not getting the same results, it just feels entirely different. And that is really weird to me. And I don't know how to fix it. And I guess this is just part of growing up, which was the topic of today's show, growing up. So I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Remember to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Nope, I don't use Facebook. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Franco's World _ I need to use Instagram more. And you, in the meantime, you just keep all those questions and comments coming because I read all of them, except for when I don't. And you just keep taking care of yourself. So thank you very much for listening. I will see you when I see you, and I hope you have a great day.